Go ahead and get started. I think we got everybody here that is intending on be here. There may be a few folks that come in late. So my name is Scott Caron. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Longview, and I've been here just under 2 years. And so we're really excited to be here and excited about a lot of the different projects and things that are going on in our community. And so tonight what we're going to talk about is Transportation Alternative Grant. And so what we're actually talking about is part of the process of applying for a grant with TxDOT for transportation alternatives. So transportation alternatives, these grants are designed and purposed for bike, pedestrian, alternative transportation, anything except for vehicular traffic. And so you can see when we apply for this type of grant, the types of things that we're looking at. In this one in particular, there's $52 million that are going to be available over the next 3 years. And with this grant is a requirement of a local match of about 20%. So the minimum requirement is 20% grant, so or 20% match. So if you put in $1 million, the local community has to come up with $200,000. So we'll talk about exactly what we're looking at. The reason this grant exists is to improve safety, improve access, to move your community, to provide other modes to reduce greenhouse gases and do all those kind of things. And I think everybody understands the purpose of that. And so that's what the federal government through TxDOT is doing with the grant. So, or not. Technical difficulties. All right, there we go. So with the grant itself, we are compiling everything. The actual deadline is May 22nd, but we are looking to make sure that we have everything in place on May 19th. That gives us that little bit of cushion to make sure that we get it in place. They will be reviewing the applications between May and August and then notifying those that win in the fall. And again, we don't know exactly when that date will be, but we know it'll be this fall. So the reason we're here tonight is part of that whole application process is the public involvement process, but then also letters of support and make sure that you are speaking to your community about transportation alternatives and those kind of things. We know that transportation alternatives and trails are a priority for our community, and the reason we know that is we've had a trail master plan since 2009, and it's had a rough outline of where we would like to see trails go within our community. And so this has been around for a number of years. And then in 2015, City Council approved a comprehensive plan, and in the comprehensive plan, all right, so in the comprehensive plan, the number 2 priority for our community was the expansion of our trail system. In addition, in the transportation side was the addition of sidewalks, complete streets, and those bike routes, bike lanes, and all those kind of things. So we're interested in a community as a whole in providing those. Again, part of this grant process and why we're here tonight is not necessarily the particular route of these phases 2 and 3, but the overall is our community supportive of additional trails within our community. And so that's one of the things that we want to make sure that our community is aware of what we're trying to do. We know and understand that there's concern exactly where, in particular, where this trail will be and will go, and we're certainly have to, as part of the grant process, have to put that route in there. That's not to say that that's the final route. The intent is for us to work with our community to have the best and most appropriate route for our community. And so that's what we're going to do, and that's what we're committed to. And so what we are doing and what we are applying for, and again, this can and we anticipate that it will change, is for us to begin phase 2 just south of the Aiken Trail on Eden, and then go down, crossing Judson and hooking up with the Guthrie Trail. Again, you can see there's a little bit of a jog there, and the reason that exists is that part of the grant is the requirement in the grant proposal you have to have control or own all of the property that you're submitting as part of your grant. Well, as you can see in the next slide, the areas in red are is the land that the City of Longview owns, and you can also see the outline of the floodplain there as well. And so that little jog that you saw on the previous screen, we don't own any property between those two red parcels other than the roadway. And so when you, as part of the grant process and putting this together, we had to say, okay, do we own the property? And there's actual checkbox on there. And we don't own the property in between there. Our commitment to, throughout this whole process and speaking with Councilwoman Ishihara and the mayor, is that we are committed to working out a way to be able to get along that creek, whether that's through right-of-way, a bridge, property acquisition, whatever it is. We're committed to be able to do that as our community would like to see. So that's phase 2, and that's kind of the reason why there's that little jog, at least in our initial plans. And again, the plans we fully expect will change, and they will have to change as we do further analysis and engineering along the entire route. So that's phase 2. Phase 3 then would connect Guthrie Trail at McCann all the way down to Highway 80 and link up with Boorman Trail. So what that would allow our community to have is one 10-mile continuous route of trails. And we're pretty excited about being able to offer that and have that within our community. What we've put in here is just a typical trail elevation. I believe probably most are familiar with either Aiken Trail, Cargill Long, or on Boorman, so you guys know and understand what a trail is. And part of the reason that we're excited about this is having an additional trail system or expansion of our trail system in our community. The purpose and the intent of ours is more of that recreational experience. And so that's what our hope and intent is, to have those type of experiences, not just the transportation alternative side of things. So overall, the project will cost just under $8 million, and that local match, the local side that we are putting into that is about $4.6 million, and we're asking for $3 million from the state. So again, that's about, as you can see, the minimum requirement is 20%. So 20% of $8 million, would be $400,000. Or sorry, 1.6 million, but we're far exceeding, we're at 4.6 on the local match. And the reason that our amount is that much higher is because of fees with TxDOT, but then also utility relocations that may have to occur within there. And so those are not reimbursable under the grant, and so that's part of our local match that will be incorporated into the grant. So, that's kind of the overall thing. We know there are some concerns, in particular, along the route. And as I mentioned earlier, we fully intend to make sure that this will be a recreational trail and utilize as much of that corridor as we possibly can. We'll stick around. If you have any particular questions, I know we'd be happy to talk to you about those. So. Anyway, thanks for coming out tonight. We appreciate it.